guys, good morning. So today I am going to continue the lesson that we did last time, which was on the AKS, analyze the different economy systems, compare how traditional command and market economies. And then we're going to answer the questions, what to produce, how to produce, by constructing a chart, which is the one you have, okay? And the learning target is I can compare and contrast the economic systems of Israel, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Iran. Got that? All right, I need you, all of you that are in the Chromebooks, we're not using them right now, so please get off them because we're going to be focusing on this activity. So I'm going to show you, first of all, a short video. I'm going to show you a short video, but before we do that, I'm going to ask you 3 questions and see if you remember. There's no wrong answer, but if I say, in a traditional economy, how are decisions made on what to produce usually made? Is it by the government, by traditions and customs, by large companies, or by technology? So in a traditional economy, how is that produced? Who produces? Remember how we say it was by what? By traditions and customs. Remember, those are the people that usually, which is very rarely, they don't have that much anymore. The traditional economy is when people, they trade things, remember? They don't pay with money, but they trade things. Like I said, animals, they trade with animals, with food, with fruit, with vegetables, with clothing, anything that they can make and trade, okay? And they go to this big place, it's like a market outside, and they go around, then you look around to see what is it that you need. Like I said, for example, you have, Jeremiah has 2 goats, and I have a cow, and I say, let's trade. I give you the 2 goats for the cow, but you may say, but the cow is more, so I may have to trade more things, because you feel that the cow, it can produce meat, it can actually produce milk, so it may be, I may have to trade more things for it. All right, so who decides what to produce? Who decides what products to make in a command economy? So in a command economy, is remember when one person rules and they do things for their own benefit? Who do you think is that? In a command economy. So it says, who decides what products to make in a command economy? The people, the private business, the government, or foreign countries? What do you think it is? Who decides what products to make in a command economy? The people, the private business, the government, or foreign countries? Is what?
It's the government.
The government. So the government. In a market economy, what helps decide the price of goods? So when in a market economy, let's say, what helps decide the price of goods? If I want to sell something, is it the government, the supply and demand, the traditions, or family businesses? What do you think it is in a market economy? Anybody? Remember? It's supply and demand, meaning whatever is selling, let's say they're making new phones, right? The more phones people buy, they keep making more and they put the prices for it. So it depends, to put prices and things, it depends on what the people are buying, the goods and services. What is selling the most? There's always something for Christmas that people want more. Or there's always the technology. Anything that has to do with technology, a lot of people want. So I'm going to show you a video, which I think I have here. We can watch really quick. That is going to explain a little bit. It's loading. So we're gonna watch this.
Andrew is learning to read, and I want to make sure he builds strong foundations.
Hey, it's Mr. Parker here, and today we're going to talk about how to use an economic continuum line. So as you already know, all countries have economic systems that combine elements of both command and market economies. To visualize how these elements are mixed, we can plot a country's economy on a continuum line. And what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to give you some step-by-step instructions on how to draw this line and plot a country on it. So let's go ahead and set up our continuum line. Step one, of course, is to, well, draw a horizontal line on the page. Now in step two, we're going to need to add a couple of labels. Over here on the far left, we need to label that pure command, and on the far right, we need to label that pure market. Now step three is optional, but I always like to add the number 100 to the pure market end and a 0 to the pure command end. I also like to tack sort of a little line in the middle just so I'll remember where the middle point is. Now putting these numbers here actually serves two purposes. First of all, it makes it easier for us to describe the location of any given point on the line by describing it as a percentage. You know, the middle would be 50%, for example, halfway between the middle and the pure market end would be 75%, and so forth. The other reason I like to put those numbers there is that it reminds us that anything over on the pure market end, all the way on the pure market end, that represents 100% economic freedom with no government control at all. And anything way over on the pure command end, well, you know, that represents 0% economic freedom with total government control. It's helpful, by the way, to remember that any country that is on the command side of this line is going to be a country with a lower GDP. And countries on the market side of the line will tend to have higher GDPs. Of course, no country is going to be all the way at the pure market end or all the way at the pure command end. The United States, for example, we consider ourselves a great example in the world of a market economy, but we're only at about 80%. North Korea, on the other hand, one of the last remaining communist countries in the world, should be an example of a pure command economy, but even they are not all the way at the zero end. They're at about 5%. So you're wondering, how do we know where to place countries on this line? Well, to be honest, it's pretty subjective, but there are some clues in the description of each country's economy that can give us some guidance. So what I like to do is I like to look for keywords in the description of a given country's economy. Some of those words are what I would call command terms. And those are words or phrases that would make me want to slide that country's label toward the pure command end of the line. Other words and phrases are more market type terms that would give me reason to slide that country's label toward the pure market end of our continuum line. So let's look at some examples here. If you see a country referred to as communist or socialist, it's probably going to be on the command side of this line. On the other hand, a capitalist country is going to be on the market side. If you hear that businesses are state-owned, well, that's a very command economy type of idea. On the other hand, privately owned businesses will tend to be market economy type. If you hear that wages and prices are set by a centralized authority, that's probably going to be a command economy. On the other hand, if prices and wages are set by supply and demand, that's a market economy. If industries are motivated to produce based on government quotas, then that's going to be a country that's probably going to be on the command side of this line. But if industries are motivated by profits, that's going to be a market economy. If your industries are heavily regulated in a country, that tends to be something that's going to be towards the command side of the line, whereas lightly regulated industries, that's going to be on the market side. If you hear about property being owned collectively, that's another word for government ownership, then that's going to be a clue that'll put you towards the command end of the line. But if the property is privately owned, that's going to be toward the market end of the line. Finally, if you hear about services being socialized, like socialized healthcare, that's another word for government run. That's going to suggest that a country is towards the command side of the line, whereas privatized services, those are going to be something that you'll find in more of a market economy.
Okay, so let's pause here.
Let's look at,
And anybody can tell me what are the question, what to produce? Anybody has that one? What to produce? What in economy? What are you looking for? Let me turn this off. Well, I can't turn it off because we're gonna be using it. So, we're gonna go over this. What is a traditional economy? In a traditional economy, what is it consist of? What is it? Relies on what? Yeah, customs, traditions, beliefs to guide economic activity. A command economy is fully controlled by the government, and a market economy is driven by supply and demand with minimal government intervention. A mixed economy combines elements of both command and market systems, allowing for the government involvement while still utilizing private enterprise and market forces. All right, we're going to go over some of these vocabulary words that are here. And we already know when we're going to be starting reading, in order for us to do the assignment that you're going to do, you're going to be seeing some words. So some of these words are going to be there, and this is the primary words that you need to know. So it's a traditional economy. So you already know what that means, right? A traditional economy, or at least you have an idea, right? Which has to do with customs and traditions. A command economy, which is by the government. The market economy. Then we're going to go Iran, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. Now, what is this word here?
Scarcity.
Scarcity. What does it mean?
No.
Not enough. Scarcity is when there's a product or there's not enough of the things that people need. And the word specialization. What does that mean to you? When a country specializes in what? What do you think it means? When somebody asks, what is it specialize, or what is a specialty? What do you specialize in?
Whenever they try things that work for them.
Can you talk really among yourself and try to find out, give me a quick, what does it means to you? What is specialization in a country that specializes? So let's say a country specializes in technology. Or technology, or pharmaceuticals, or cars, or oil, right? So those countries specialize. So every country has a specialty that they build something that they're good in, and they produce it and they sell it. All right? So we're gonna go over, let's finish this video really quick.
get hypothetical country A. We're going to read the description and look for some of those key words. Country A values the free market. The government has only limited business regulations, most of which are in place to protect worker safety. Nearly all industries are privately owned, with prices and wages determined by supply and demand. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight the key terms here based on whether it's a command term or a market term. Market terms will be in green, command terms in pink, and actually if I look at this, these are all market terms. We talk about a free market, limited business regulations, privately owned, and supply and demand. These are going to point us towards the market end. It doesn't say all industries are privately owned, but nearly all. So I'm going to put this in at about 90%. All right, let's try example B. In country B, many industries are state-owned, but there's also a large private sector. Businesses are free to produce what they want, but the government regulates prices and wages. Healthcare is socialized, and private property rights are generally protected. Well, let's go ahead and highlight this. And as you can see, there's both market terms here and command terms. It's pretty evenly balanced. So I would actually put this one somewhere around the middle. So I'm putting country B here at about 50%. Finally, let's try country C. The economy of country C is based on collective principles. Nearly all industries are owned by the state and private property rights are not respected. In an effort to boost the GDP, the government has started to allow a limited number of people to open private businesses, but these are heavily regulated. Well, yeah, there's a lot of command terms here, so this is looking very, very commandy, shall we say, but there's a little bit of market terminology here. The government's allowing some people to open private businesses. So it's going to definitely be on the command end, but there's a little bit of market here. So I'm going to put country C at about 10%. So there you have it, how to work with an economic continuum line.
This is how I use AI and Siri to organize my busy schedule. So I work in sales.
Alright, we are going to go over these slides that we have here. And in order for you to answer and fill out the forms that this article. Now, you have two of these, two different ones, right? Do you have your paper? I think I left it here. There's some for you here. Okay, so there's this article here. And this other article here, right? There's two of them. In order for you to answer the chart here that we're looking for, that's going to ask you traditional command and market. Who answers the question of what to produce? Who answers the question about how to produce? And who answers the question on when to produce, right? So the traditional and command. So all of these questions that are asking is for each of these systems, right? The traditional, the command, and the market. And all of these answers are in the reading, the article that you have, right? So in order for you to answer that, we have to go over this article here that's going to tell you and explain what each one is. You all have this one, right? Yes? Alright, you gotta wake up and listen. I know it's Monday, but we have to wake up. Alright, do you have your paper, everybody? You have yours. You have, everybody have a pencil?
Yes.
Alright. Alright, you're gonna have one pencil for you. Alright, so. Once from this video, there's this, right here. Do you see this one? Alright. Jeremiah. So, what is the learning target that we're doing today? Right here. What is it that we're going to learn? The learning target, what is it? You can come up closer. Just want to make sure that you all understand what we're doing.
Where?
Right here, which says the learning target. What is the learning target for today?
Compare and contrast the economic system of Israel, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Iran.
Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing today. So, I need everybody, I gave you two different forms. Louis, get off the Chromebook.
Oh, he's on James.
Close the computer.
Louis is on Minecraft.
That's lack of respect. You know why? Because we're trying to learn and you're playing games? No. You have to be focused because you have to learn and answer this question. But we're not using them right now because we're doing it on paper. You will be taking a quiz on the computer, quizzes. You'll actually be taking maybe two quizzes and one assessment for this lesson. Okay? So you need to pay attention and so you can answer the questions. All right? So when I ask you a question, you have to be alert and answer. All right? All right. So this one here, you have this paper, the first one. I want you to think. You don't have to do the bottom one, okay? This bottom one, you're not going to answer. You're going to answer only, there's two questions in your own opinion, okay? In your own thought. all right? And it's gonna ask you, based on the video, and what have you learned? List at least 2 advantages, benefits of the market economy. And based on the video and what you learned, list 2 advantages of benefit of a command economy. All right, so you can actually go to this article and you can look again what it means, because in order for you to answer this, you gotta know what is a market economy and the benefits of a command economy. So you have, I'm gonna give you about 3 minutes to answer this question, and then we'll go over what we're gonna do next. Yes?
I'll do
Okay, all right. Which is yours? This one? This is yours. You have to show them. This is the one that we're talking about.
I have my first month, they went perfectly. Not sure.
So the first question, what is the first question that you're asking you here?
Exactly, I had mine for what? 3 months and they perfect. Exactly.
All right, so let's look at the market economy. Excuse me.
Shh.
All right, who can? Shh. We're gonna read. I want you to read this one. This is the market economy. Read it out loud. Paragraph.
Market economy are markets in which decisions about economic actions are driven by price signals, which are calculated by supply and demand. And a term market are no taxes and no regulations.
Can everybody see this? Read this? Or it's too small? Well, you have it on in front of you. You have the paper. All right, go ahead.
Market economy tends to be very millions of customers helping market economy just to do the commission by making decisions on what to buy. Market also tends to be
Oh,
very
you got from me.
legal experiment
You please close the computer. Cool. All right, sit down. Thank you. All right. I already told you we're doing this. You have to be focused. All right, because I will have to block you. Totally. And I've been telling you this all the time. And I think I'm gonna do it today. After leaving this class, a lot of you are gonna be blocked. That's
Yeah,
it.
block rules for sure.
Because you have to listen up. All right? So we ask you a question. And the question is, list at least 2 advantages, benefits of a market economy. So it said, market economies in which decisions about economic production are driven by price signals, which are in turn created by supply and demand. In a pure market economy, there are no taxes and no regulation. Market economies tend to be very efficient with millions of consumers, helping the market rapidly adjust to new information by making decisions about what to buy. Market economies also tend to be very unequal in their distribution resources. All right. And the other question was, what was the other one? Okay, these are these 2 advantages of a command economy. It's on the paper. All right, so what we're gonna do, you're gonna turn, those of you that have this paper, listen up. When we finish, I'll let you go to the bathroom. Right now, we need to focus, okay? We need to focus. So everybody has to have this paper and the second paper that you have with the questions. Everybody has it? You should have it. Alright. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna go over this right here. You have that? Okay. So you are going to look. Okay. Alright. Louis? Jeremiah?
Yes, it's computer.
Close your Chromebook. I already told you I'm gonna take it away. You are going to do this form. I'm gonna show you the ones that you're going to do. Alright? So those of you, you need to stay here with me in the front. Jeremiah. You're gonna have to, you're gonna sit there, we have to be quiet, okay? You have to participate.
Are we still in the command and mark it?
Yes. So you're going to do this one. Alright? You're gonna focus on this one and you're gonna find the answers right here. You are going to do that and you're also gonna find, not this one, you're gonna do this one. Is this your paper? You have it, okay? Alright, you are going to do, you're gonna do this one. You're gonna do this one. Alright. Alright, so the ones that I gave you, there are the two forms. The ones that I gave you to Jeremiah, Louis, Touch, well, sir, excuse me. Listen up. Alright, so we're gonna go over the slides. And we are gonna do this one together, alright? So we're gonna look at the slides that are here. And it says traditional, right here, right? On the first box. Listen up, everybody. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so it says traditional. So who answers the question of what to produce? And for whom to produce. So I need you to look at these articles here, and if you look at each question that you have here, it's telling you exactly the answer, all right? So I'm gonna give you about 10 minutes to go over this and fill in the blanks, all right? I'm gonna walk around to make sure that you're on task and that you're doing the right one, the one that I gave you, because not all of you, they're all similar and it's basically the same thing, but it's a different format, all right? So Nico, let me see which one you have. Okay, so you're working on that one, you're working on this one. Let's see this one. Yeah, you're working on this one. This one, all right? Anybody with me? Let me see. Where's your pencil? You have a pencil. So how do you do your work? Here you go. You're gonna read this, you're gonna answer the questions. You have one. You have the answers right here. You have this one. And you're gonna find me the answers for what is economy. You're gonna tell me how to produce, all right? You're gonna show you produce is the answer. You're gonna find it right here. I gave you the easy one. All right? Do you have the other one to read? This is Jeremiah. Why is it here? Okay, maybe it's to read. All right, find the answer. Oh, here. That's another one here from Jeremiah. All right. All right, so for example, if I read this to you, I'm gonna go to the bottom. So I have Jeremiah Sutton that's gonna come and read the first traditional economy. So I need you to come to the front so you can see it close. And you will annotate and you will look for the right answer. You will look for the answer where it belongs so you can write it in. Right. Or do you have the, do you want to see this? Or you can look, okay, you can read this really loud, right here. You're gonna read this one. So, you're gonna read the whole thing, and he's gonna read it, remember, loud and clear. He's gonna read the first page, so as you work, go ahead. Loud and clear, waiting.
Okay, traditional economies also called substance economies are agricultural economics that produce things that the same way entities have. Because of the lack of industrial mechanisms and other innovations, traditional economics produce very
You
little
should be excuse me a second, I'm sorry. You should all be looking at the paper that he's reading, and you should be looking at it for the answers right there. You just read it out loud. Go look on my desk. Go ahead, keep continue, I'm sorry about that, go ahead. Listen, let's show respect and let's listen.
Don't touch that.
Go ahead,
Don't touch that.
it's fine, go
That's
ahead,
mine.
just go ahead. Go ahead,
Put it down,
That's his pencil.
that's fine.
please.
Just take that one.
It's cool. I have another one.
Just take it for now, I'll give it back, I have plenty, go ahead.
And other innovations, traditional economics produce very little surplus. This is to say that the farmer of the community consume almost all of what they make in order to meet their basic needs. What to produce.
Alright, so he's gonna go over, listen up, those of you that are looking for, excuse me, guys in the back. Those that are looking for this answer, he's gonna read it to you out loud. So he says what to produce, go ahead, read it, loud and clear.
Since traditional economics produce little to no surplus, almost everything they produce is what is necessary to survive that year.
Okay, so, again, what is to produce? When he says in a traditional economy, what is it that they do in a traditional economy? They produce what? He says it right there.
It's so large.
Nico, remember, what is the traditional economy? He says it right here. In a traditional economy, when he says what to produce, what is it that they produce in a traditional economy? No, they have nothing to do with the government.
Necessary to survive
Yes,
the year.
exactly, the answer is, listen up. They only produce what is necessary for the year. You understand? Excuse me, because they are trading, okay? They are trading. So every year, if they have a farm, they farm and then they sell, if they have clothes. So every year they have to do the same thing. So they do whatever they need to survive and whatever they do to produce. That's it. They produce for themselves, for the community. Go ahead, next.
How to produce? They produce things in the same manner their ancestors did. These production techniques may be determined by traditional or custom.
Okay, hold on a second. All right, so if you have this paper, look it up. Not leave yet. Look at this paper, and somebody says how to produce. In a traditional economy, how is it that they produce? The answer is right there. Jeremiah. M.
He's looking up.
I need you to tell me, how do they produce? Well, we're talking about the traditional economy, right here. The second box. Nico, how do they produce? What is it that they produce? It's right there, the second one.
Things in the same manner as their ancestors did.
Yes,
They're produced in the same manner.
yeah. So they produce like the ancestors did, okay, with the traditions. For whom to produce? So excuse me, I'm still the traditional economy. I'm just trying to explain to you, how is it that they produce, to whom they produce, and where, how to produce. So you need to know this, because when I give you the test and the quiz, you're gonna have to understand this and know the answer. So if you read this, instead of looking at down the paper, trying to answer the question, we're gotta read this first so you can understand what you're writing. All right? So, for whom they produce? For much, who they produce for? Right here. The first, the second, this box here. Right here, really loud. For whom they produce?
To the workers, as almost everything that is prepared.
Loud, little louder. You can read it louder. As almost
As almost everybody that everything of that
is produced,
is
consumed,
by the community of product.
producing it. There's what?
It's there is
Very little to be traded with other communities. Okay, I have to explain this again so you know this when I ask you. In a traditional economy, let's say we a community, right? And we a group of community. You planting, we farming, and he's a farmer, I'm a farmer, you have animals, right? So it says that almost everything is produced, consumed by the community producing it. There's little to be traded with other communities. So whatever we produce stays among us. We're not gonna sell it out to no one else, okay? We're not actually making a profit. We're doing it to survive. And where? While all human societies originally had traditional economies, there are almost none of left on earth. No country has a traditional economy. So this type of market is actually not much anymore. All right, so we're gonna go on to the command economies. In a command economy, just come up here. And I want you to come here and read this to me. Shh. I want you to read. Everybody listen so you can find the answers as we read, because then you're gonna have to do this on your own. And there's something that you have to do at the end of the class. You should all be working on the assignment, the different assignments that you have. All right, so we're gonna go over the command economies. What can you read about what is a command economy? What is it? What are command economies? Economies?
That allocate their production and
Consumption,
consumption based on a central economy plan.
typically
Typically left
developed
by the government, such as government control may be in order to ensure
fairness,
or to show
more
more
economic resources in pursuit
in pursuit of a goal of the state plan economies
cannot
typically
impair consumer preferences, shortages, surplus. Right, you're doing good.
as
Efficiently,
efficiently as individuals
consumers,
responding to market forces because of this limit.
station command, economies,
Command economies tend to be less efficient
and
than
market economies. All right, Jeremiah, Southern, I need you to please sit down and listen, okay? We're not done yet. Everybody should be completing this form. March,
Yes.
Nico, Madison. Remember, you gotta be focused and complete this, okay? All right? Shh. What is it?
I'm not working.
Okay, you're in market. All right, you should find the answer. Okay, so what to produce? I'm going to explain to you, then you have to tell me back. So in a command economies, the government determines what to produce, right? Central economic plan, frequency prioritize the government interest over the interest of the people. So in a command economy, they want to make money, right? They don't care about what people, they just want to sell what's beneficial for them, that sales that help them make more money, okay? And how do they produce? They're determined by the government's central economic plan. So they have a plan of how much money they expect to make, for whom to produce, so who they produce for. They're determined by the government's economic plan, typically prioritize government's interests, not consumers. So they want fishing boats will only be produced for professional fishermen, all right? So where no country follows a pure command economy, but North Korea is closest to a pure command economy. All right, so we're gonna go over the market, it says market economy, and it tells you what to produce, how to produce, and for who to produce. Sweetheart, if you come here and you look here, it says it right here. It tells you right here. In the traditional, it tells you right here. Traditional economy. It tells you what to produce, who to produce. So it's right here. It tells you the answers right here. In the command economy, it tells you exactly where it is. You see it? These are the answers. All you gotta do is copy them. All right, shh. I don't see why, is everybody with me? I don't see why some of you are still a little confused, because we're going over the answers and what you need to do and fill in the box. Jeremiah, please.
No, I'm talking about this.
Okay, so do your work, you've been doing great, you're doing wonderful, you've been reading, it's perfect. Those of you that are participating and listening and doing your work, very nicely.
Us in the back,
All right,
all are very
that is very good.
smart, intelligent.
All right, so, those of you that need to be sitting closer here, so you can pay attention. Lois, you focusing? Jeremiah Madison, Jeremiah, M. And you, you got it now? You know exactly what you need to do? You want me to go over it again? Okay, anybody here understands what you want me to go over and help you with? Let me just walk around to make sure that you're on task. I know exactly what you're doing. Remember, we are going to be taking a quiz on this, and it's gonna be similar questions. So all you gotta know is remember the differences. Let me see. Where's your pencil first? You don't have a pencil and you're not doing the work. And it's so easy to do. So easy because the answers are right here. Who does not have a pencil and why? We all have to come prepared to school with a pencil. All right. You know, why do you think, why do you think the traditional economies, people follow the old traditions? You think it's a good thing not to do it? It would not work, right? Because now people do need money. So it's not like to sell things. Now people do need the money to buy things. We can't be trading things like before. All right, so. All right, you have about 5 more minutes to complete this one. Those of you that have the, remember, you have 2 different ones. The one that you answer the 2 questions, and then you fill in the chart in the back. And then the other ones are the ones that have the reading, and then you have to answer the questions, the chart on the back. Jeremiah, are you focusing? Are you understanding this? Are you following the directions? Are you on task? Are you sure? You need me to go back with you and help you out, or are you doing it good? Let me see. Oh, good. Excellent. Perfect. Anybody else? Found it easy?
I think very.
All right. So far, so good, right? Good.
Look at here.
do not make any noise so we can focus on completing this assignment.
Can you take these apart?
Yes. So remember that in a traditional economy, as you're doing this, people trade what they produce with no money. Remember, they just trade, but they don't have this much anymore around the world. Okay? In a command economy, production and consumption is based on a central economic plan, which is what is convenient for the government, not what is convenient for us. It's whatever they think it will make more money. And they probably focus more on people that do have money, that they can, like boats and houses, things like that. So they don't really care much about the people that they don't have money like that. Market economy is what people want sells the most. So in the market economy, remember, it's what is selling the most. That's how they put the prices, whatever's out there that people are buying. You know, when they put a new product in a supermarket or in a store, people start buying it, you know, and it's appealing. So the more people buy, the more they make. And that's how they determine the price. If it's gonna be cost more or it's gonna be cost less, all right? And remember we said the word scarcity. What is scarcity? Not enough, right? Not enough things, not enough to produce, or not enough for everybody. You guys are being very quiet today. Is there a reason? Because you're usually very talkative and participate a lot.
Because we're very smart.
No, it's about being smart. If I ask you a question, you should know. If I ask you what a command economy
Well,
is.
this one does. This one on that end.
Okay. Let me know when you're almost done. Those of you that are working, you guys working together,
Yeah.
those of you that are working together to complete that, you can look and read and find the answers. And then we're gonna go over in a few minutes, we're gonna go over this quick check to summarize what we learned today about the different economic systems, which are the three ones? Traditional
Command
and market. Which one you think is better? You think a command economy is good?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because we're in the command economy, that means that people don't have as much freedom as a market economy.
Okay. What about in a traditional economy? Just try and talk about yourself. What do you think? Is a traditional economy good? A traditional economy, do you know what is a traditional economy is? It's when people, what they produce, when they go and trade, right? But if you notice, some people, everything is money now. Everything is cash now. So now if you produce something, people want money. It's not like those in old times before with people. Now there are countries in the world that do that. There are countries in the world that do that. They have to do that. They have no other choice. They have camels, and they trade camels, and they trade and other things.
Water. And air.
No, they can't trade air.
I mean, not air, what's the word?
But they food. Yeah, food. They trade food. Alright, but here, in other countries now are more modern, so now people do, sell things. Everybody wants to make a profit. Everybody wants to make money, alright?
Hard making money.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna go over this questions here, the quick check. And I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna read this to you and you're gonna tell me which kind of market is this, alright? Listen up. Margot works in a large farm with many other workers. He works the same hours each day that a factory worker does in a nearby town. He earns a set salary that each month when he goes to the grocery store to buy supplies. He usually has just one choice per type of good. So what kind of economy is that? What do you think is that? What is the, let's see. What is the trick here? Question here. Sorry about that. All right. So, let's see. Girls, right here. So he works in a large farm with many other workers, right? Works the same hours as each day that a factory worker does in a nearby town. He earns a set salary that each month when he goes to the grocery store to buy supplies, he usually has one choice per type of good. What do you think is that? Why do you think what kind of economy is that? What kind of that? Excuse me, what is it? They're telling you that you can only buy, it's telling you here, you usually have just one choice per good. So you go shopping and then you got money, you gotta go buy, but they only telling you can only buy one bread, one soda. So what do you think is a command? Yes, a command economy. So how do you know? What is the question here? How do you know it's a command?
Because she has a set salary, there's only one type of thing to buy.
Yeah, so there's limited choices, right?
Very.
So the choices are very limited. They can't go there and buy the, excuse me, in the back. Never mind. You're doing too much right now. All right. So, shh. All right. Which one is this? Samuel grows just enough food for his family and a little extra to trade. He takes his crops to the market each week as his father did when Samuel was growing up. So which economy is that? A traditional. You think it's a traditional? Yes, a traditional economy. Why do you think it's a traditional? What does it say? Where does it say here that gives you the... Yes, because his father did when he was growing up. So this is kind of a tradition, all right? That is the tradition. Okay, what type of economic system is Samuel experiencing? Let's see this one. And how do you know? Let's see. Shh. Raymond grows a variety. Okay, you know what? Let's see. Come here. You, get up. You and read this for me. Come on. Yeah, you can read this. Come on. One here. Raymond grows. We're gonna try to find the answer here.
The whole thing?
Right here. What does it say? Raymond what?
Raymond grows a variety of crops, and he decides what to grow each season based on what sold in the previous season. When there is a greater demand for his crops, he adjusts the price of his goods to make more profit. When people buy less of the goods, he will lower the price to ensure that he sells all his goods.
Okay. So which one is this? What kind of economy is this? A market economy. Okay. Why do you think? How do you know it's that one? How do you know? Girls, how do you know this is a market economy? What's giving you the answer? So let's see. Okay, so if you were taking a test right now, and they were asking you this question, you're gonna have to underline and figure it out what is the question because it's a long paragraph. Raymond grows a variety. He decides what to grow each season based on what? What he sold previous season, right? So the greater demand. So let's say it depends for his crop. He adjusts the price of his good to make more profit. So let's say whatever he's making, the more he sells, he puts the price up. If he's not selling the product, he will reduce the price, right? So it will be a market economy. Okay, how many of you have completed?
Finish this.
Just hold on.
Like,
Yeah, but I opened that once again, it's back.
finish this one.
Those of you that are on the computers, I'm gonna check because I can look and see what you guys were doing when I was teaching. All right? And then don't complain when
Yeah,
you
they're
take
both
a
on
quiz
5G.
and you don't pass. All right? So tomorrow we are going to be taking a quiz on. Excuse me, Jeremiah. Let me finish.
Yeah, homie.
Tomorrow you're going to be taking a quiz and on this, an assessment. All right? So those of you that have completed, please make sure you pick the name is on the paper because we gotta go over that. Were you able to I'm going to check to make sure that you completed the assignment that I gave you Friday.
I'm on my last line.
What?
So, again, let's review. Let's go back quickly and review. What was the learning target?
I can compare and contrast the economic system of traditional
Alright, so now that we went over the different economic systems from each country, okay, and the how to produce, when to produce, and for whom to produce, you should all be ready to take on the assessment that I'm going to be giving you tomorrow, alright? Alright, I need you to please put your name on the paper, make sure so I can collect it.